Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan. And what I'd like to do today is to give you all some tips and tricks on how to write a home healthcare business plan. So the way this video is going to work is I'm going to go ahead and kind of give you all a little bit of background about me, help you all understand why I feel I am qualified to help you all, and give you some tips and tricks for writing a business plan focused on the healthcare industry, specifically home healthcare. Then from there, I'm going to go ahead and give you a couple tips and tricks for how to write your company's summary section, as well as get into showing you all how to design just a very basic financial model that's going to help you identify some of the price points that you might want to achieve for your business, as well as to show you all how to calculate profits based on some of your revenues and some of your expected fixed costs. All right, so without further ado, let's zip through this little tutorial or tips and tricks little PowerPoint presentation I've got ready for you. All right, so that's promised a little bit about me, and then we're going to talk about you and your needs for a home healthcare business plan. So first and foremost, I am a professional writer, specifically a business plan writer. So if y'all do want to avoid the trials and tribulations and the wonderful growth opportunities involved with writing your own business plan, feel free to pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. I would be absolutely beside myself excited and delighted to help you all out with a business plan. If you just need that little bit more edge, a little bit more of a nudge to finish up your business plan, finish up your financial projections, I do have some books that are online and published on Amazon.com. So if you just zip on over there, I do have some business plan writing books there, as well as how to create financial projections for business plan books on that topic as well. And then finally, I am an adjunct of a finance and business professor. Also, I am a subject matter expert for both business and finance. So if y'all do need some financial projections, your business plan's already wrapped up, nice little bow and it's all set aside, but you do need some help with the numbers, those pesky little things, again, give me a call, be delighted to help you. All right. Enough about me. Let's go ahead and talk about your home healthcare business plan and some tips and tricks for it. So first and foremost, the tip that I like to provide for this is going to be focused on the company description section. So when you're writing your home healthcare business plan, make sure to include the typical information that's going to be included in the first paragraph, such as the company name, the legal structure, is it going to be limited liability corporation, so proprietor, and then what is going to be your main driving service, and then what is going to be a secondary service you're going to be providing if you do have a secondary service for your home health care business. So once that's set up, then from there, go ahead and provide some information on what kind of specialty your organization is going to embrace. For some organizations, for home health care, it's going to be personal care, brushing the hair, clipping nails, and maybe a little bit like cleaning, a little bit of like cooking. So if that's going to be the kind of structure, then make sure you go ahead and discuss that in details. However, if it's going to be more of a physical therapy or a traveling nurse, something more specialized like that, then again, make sure to provide that information and also some typical services provided that are provided within your specialty. Next is going to be your business structure. For the most part, novices they believe that it's pretty straightforward doing a home health care. You just send people out to the home, they take care of their patients, and they leave. Unfortunately, there's a lot more involved with hiring and logistics and parameters of service involved with a home health care agency. And because of the details needed, make sure to touch on each one of those. Home health care, hiring professionals, not easy to do in this market right now. Make sure you have a strategy ready to not only attract qualified professionals, but how are you going to retain them as well? Very important, again, in our current health environment, in our current, with COVID-19 floating around out there, it's not easy to retain healthcare workers. So make sure you have a structure talking about that. Also, logistics. You can't send one customer out, 50 miles west and then expect them to go 70 miles east, on the next visit. You're going to have some logistics in there, some scheduling, and that's going to be challenging as well. How are you going to do that? Are you going to use software? Are you just going to wing it? If you're going to wing it, you're going to have a little bit of a problem because you're going to lose a lot of a lot of miles, when your healthcare professional is behind that driving wheel, they're not making you money, they're driving. So you're going to want to go ahead and make sure you touch on some logistics as well, and then parameters of service. Every healthcare agency for home care that I've ever worked with, there's always a parameter. They will do X, Y, and Z, but they do not do A, B, and C. So make sure you talk about what you do and what you don't do. Don't just say I do this. Make sure you say I don't do this as well. Especially for the home healthcare industry, it is critical to set the reader's expectations. And then finally, in the company description section, somewhere in there, make sure to work in some industry statistics. For example, home healthcare industry is a $109 billion industry right now, with revenues growing at about 3.3% annually. When you're able to work in a couple of industry statistics, whether it be right next to each other or, one piece of information in the first paragraph and then the second statistic, a little bit further down the line, what you're doing is you're showing credibility. You're showing that you've done the research and that you are able to go ahead and tie that research into your document. And when they see that a third party said this, then they say, A, you know what, this person's done the research, so if this must be true, then other parts of the business plan that weren't researched as thoroughly must be true as well. That assumption is an excellent starting point to show professionalism, but also to show that you have done your research and you know how to document and source it properly. It's more structure, but it's also credibility. When you're able to establish that upfront early on, it helps the reader say, you know what, this is authentic, this is believable, because that information is in there. So make sure you set yourself up for success by including statistics, and don't just include the statistics. Put a footnote in there showing where the information came from, so that person can go and check it. 99% of the time, they're not going to check it, but again, it adds credibility for your document. All right, next is going to be financial projections. Tip number 2. So financial projections, those take a lot of work to go ahead and create, especially if you're starting from scratch. However, what I recommend that all business owners do when they're writing a business plan is at least to have a basic financial model. The basic financial model should include what your revenues are going to be, your fixed costs, and your monthly profits. Once you have that model, you can then expand it into financial projections for your income statement for month to month, for 12 months, also into the next 5 years, as well as tying into a balance sheet. But you need some kind of a starting point, and I highly recommend the basic financial model. Once you have that model created, you're going to be able to identify, how many customers you're going to need to be able to service to hit your net profits. You're going to be able to use it for benchmarking, and also, like I said, it's a great starting point for your pro forma financial projections. So, with that said, here's a handy dandy little financial model that I concocted, that I've also customized for home healthcare. So the way this works is broken into 3 sections: basic profit and loss, monthly costs, and then monthly profits. For the first section, what we need to do is identify how many customers on average do you think you're going to be able to service a day. I'm saying for this particular example, 5. Next is going to be on average, what is the average price? How much are you going to charge your customer on average per day? Again, for this example, it's going to be $250. The next piece of information we're going to need is your average variable cost. If you service one customer, how much is it going to cost you, in gas? And I wouldn't do it in labor, but I would do it in gas or in any kind of other variable costs, that you're going to need, gloves and disposable thermometers or whatever. But whatever your variable costs are going to be, make sure you go ahead and document it right here. The next step for gross profits is going to be simply subtracting your variable costs from your average sales price. Once you have your gross profits, you then multiply that by the number of, once you have that, you're then going to multiply your gross profits by the number of customers you're going to service daily. That's going to give you your total gross profits. You'll then bring that number down here, $1,100. And then you're going to go ahead and identify how many days a week, how many days in the month you're going to be working. If you're going to be doing Monday through Friday, then an excellent estimate would be 20. If you're going to be doing Saturdays as well, then 24 is usually a good number. Once you have that, you're then going to multiply your average gross profits estimated by the number of days in a month. It's going to give you total gross profits in this particular model, 26,400. You're then going to also bring that number down here. You're going to tie that in with an equal H9. That brings that number right here. Next up is going to be your monthly fixed cost. What is going to be your lease, your labor, your utilities, your marketing, supplies, legal, accounting, insurance, miscellaneous, the catch-all, and I'll be all the catch-all, $1,000. So based on these expectations right here, I'm estimating that the monthly fixed cost will be about $16,500, labor included. I'll then go ahead and tie that down here by saying equal D20, which is the D20 right here. Once you have your profit, your revenues brought down, and your monthly fixed cost included into this segment, you're then going to subtract your monthly costs from your monthly gross profits, and it's going to give you your net profits. Now, once you have this model, and I've highlighted just in the light color right here, your variables that you can change. And so let's say that you're going to hire another employee, and the other employee is going to be able to handle additional 5 people. So instead of 5 customers you're servicing, you're going to be servicing 10, and your labor is going from $1,750 to, let's say, $15,000 a month. So just making those 2 changes, you can now say that, if I take somebody else on, my net profits are going to jump to $29,000 instead of the $10,300. So you can see by just making some of these changes on what's going to happen if you hire somebody else. You can also see, if your sales price is going to be $200 instead of $250, you can see what that's going to happen to your net profits. You can also use this model to say, I want my net profits to be $10,000. So in order to get to this $10,000, what do I need to do? How many customers do I need to service in order to reach that? So just based on this right here, 7.6. So if we service, now we know that if we service 7 customers daily with an average sales price of $200 and a variable cost of $30, on average, we can go ahead and exceed our $10,000 threshold, specifically $12,460. So this financial model is really easy to go ahead and put together, and there's just so many benefits that you're going to be able to extrapolate from just a little bit of work. All right, so hopefully this information was helpful. And in summary, make sure to follow a proven format. If you go to the SBA website and download just a general template, that general template can be used for the home healthcare, as well as for restaurants, as well as for manufacturers, as well as for importers and exporters, and so on and so forth. So you're going to have a template that is just wide open, and you don't know which information you need and you don't need. So if you want to go ahead and avoid, just a general template, mosey on over to my website, qualitybusinessplan.com/home healthcare agency business plan template. You go over there, and I do have a template customized for that industry. It's a Word doc as well as a financial model that's definitely more in depth than the model I just covered. Also, make sure to keep the start of the show as the business. You might be a MD or a registered nurse, or you might have significant experience, and that's all well and good and fine and dandy. And you're definitely an important supporting cast member for your business, but don't make the business plan about you. Make it about the business. That's one of the biggest errors that I see a lot of business owners, novice owners, or even experienced owners. When they write a business plan, they make it about them. They don't make it about the business. So make sure the business plan is the start of the show, is the business. And then finally, if y'all need a little bit of help with your business plan, please reach out, and I'd be delighted to help you, whether it be writing a business plan for you, custom, helping you out with a template, or just doing your financial projections for you. All right, and if y'all want a little bit more information on writing a business plan, just go to my website, How to Write a Home Healthcare Business Plan. I do give you all some more tips and tricks for each one of the sections for your business plan. And then also, finally, if you do want a home healthcare business plan template that's customized for the industry, I do offer that on my website, qualitybusinessplan.com/home healthcare agency business plan template. And with the purchase of the template, you get a Word document that's pretty much fill in the blank, and you can customize and add more information to it. Also, you get a financial model that once you put your information in there, 12-month profit and loss, 5-year annual projections, and so on. So it's a great little model. And yeah, and also I've got some tutorials on here that help you understand how to go ahead and customize the Word document as well as the financial model, the Excel spreadsheet. All right, so hopefully this information was helpful. As always, have a great day. And if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up on YouTube. Thank you.